Bonjour frères et sœurs. English please. 3, 2. Hello brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Proverbs chapter 4, where the guest preacher thundered the truth. Daddy David spoke to us those truth from of old. And I was going to sit down. And it's time for the Father to step back up again, to add to it. Basically to call us to walk the walk. That's what it's all about. Wisdom is not just information you get, it's a way of life. That's what walking is all about in the Bible, the way you live. And he's going to do that by giving us two paths, a very light and hopeful and good path, and one of darkness and destruction, and remind us to walk on it. So, we continue with the Father stepping back up to the pulpit and saying, "Hear, my son, and accept my words. The years of your life may be many." Interesting how he comes back to the singular, right? From the plural, oh sons, daughters, to just one. From everybody needing to understand how these truths are of old, to then this one-on-one talking to your heart, reminding us how all these truths are to be individually received, even though they're for the whole community. And the call, again, is to hear and accept my words. The word accept speaks about taking into marriage, really bonding, connecting with this. Take it for yourself as a choice. You hear it and say, yes, I want these truths. I want to live according to them. These instruction, these words, I should say. And if you do that, then, well, the years of your life may be many. And should we again bogged down by, long life on earth? Yeah, don't get lost like that. As we move along, and as we saw before, it's not just about living old here on earth. It's a more abundant life than that. We're going to see it in our text itself. But again, the author is going to keep trying to hit it home, the good, to seek out this truth, to seek out these words, to take them seriously. Here is where the author now is going to lead us on the path. He's going to say, I have taught you the way of wisdom. I have led you in the path of righteousness. Right? The way, the path. Wisdom with uprightness. It's all about following the way of God. And it's interesting that he speaks first of teaching and then of leading. I told you and I showed you. It's kind of what he's saying here. Good reminder for parents. Teach and show your kids how to follow the Lord. Or for anybody wanting to make disciples. Teach, but also show them how to go. So, the Father calls them to take the word seriously. Calls him to take the word seriously because of the life it gives. I taught it to you. I showed it to you. And now he's going to explain what is so useful about it. He's going to say, when you walk, your step will not be hampered. And if you run, you will not stumble. I remind you that, again, life is not an obstacle course. So this is not about removing the obstacles themselves, but being able to go through them rightly. Not be hampered by them. Not being stumble over and hurt yourself when you go through them. That's what wisdom will do. Lead you down a path where as you're walking, you're not slowed down. And I love that when he talks about running and not stumbling, because when you're running, you are going so fast and are not as focused. And yet with wisdom, you'll see these things and not stumble over them. This is what wisdom, what this instruction will help you do as you walk this walk. That's what he's getting at. Now he continues by saying, keep hold of instruction. Do not let go. Guard her, for she is your life. Positive and negative. Positively, you keep hold. Negatively, don't let go. Right? Saying the same thing in two different ways. Positive, negative. All about this instruction. Grab hold of it. Don't do anything to let it go. Same thing with this notion of guard her. Guard her from what though? I would say your own evil heart. You know that little voice inside of us of the flesh that says, it's okay to go further with this intimacy with your boyfriend or girlfriend. It's okay as long as you don't go too far. You can push a bit further the boundary. Well, wisdom says stay far away. Be extremely careful. Be insanely careful. Guard that wisdom that speaks to you about that. Guard her from that little voice that says, don't listen to her. Guard because there's a reason she is your life. Now we see more that it's not just about a long life on earth. Wisdom itself becomes your life. This relationship with God becomes your life. It's something far more than just being old here on earth. Hope you've seen that. And this notion of some kind of life that is more than just having life is going to continue as he also looks at the dark path. And that's what he's going to start showing us now. He's going to start showing us that there's the two paths to follow. He's going to say, do not enter the path of the wicked. Do not walk in the way of the evil. Avoid it. Do not go on it. Turn away from it and pass on. I'll be kind of done. Six negative command about not going on that path of evil. That easier path. You see the obstacle course before you, and then you look at that one and maybe that's easier. Especially that one's going uphill and that one's going downhill. Don't do it. 6 times. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please, don't do it. From this point, he's going to focus on the destruction of this evil path. He's going to show us those who live on this evil path and what it looks like to be on this path. So let's look at that. For they cannot sleep unless they have done wrong. They are robbed of sleep unless they have made someone stumble. Of course, this is hyperbolic language. It's exaggeration. Not every sinner or criminal lives only for evil, and he can't sleep if he doesn't do evil. Yet, there's this sense that when you feed on sin, you're going to need to feed more and more to be satisfied. The person that fornicates wanted to fornicate more and more and more, and in weirder ways to truly be satisfied with that sex. That's what sin does. It brings you down to deeper and deeper things when you cannot be happy unless you are deep into that evil. That's kind of the idea here. That's this downward spiral going on here. And it keeps getting worse. 4. They eat the bread of the wicked and drink the wine of violence. This goes back again to the idea of life, right? The very life force, life style, the very reason for life, food and drink, is evil itself. Like I said, it's hyperbolic, it's exaggerated, but it really speaks to what sin does to a person. It becomes your life, it becomes your reason for life. Before, it was wisdom itself becomes your life. Now it's all about the sin and the flesh and evil. It just keeps getting worse. That's when the other's going to turn back to that other path and show us the light a little bit. He's going to say, but the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn, which shines brighter and brighter until full day. So as you're focused on this big, high, difficult path to go up, you also know that higher you go up, more the scenery is going to be amazing, right? That's kind of the idea. You get more and more light. And take note of that, right? It gets brighter and brighter. From the simple dawn of the morning to the full light of sun in its zenith. That's the point. That's the point. That's what happens when you walk in uprightness. When you follow this path that it was taught to us from those of old. It becomes brighter and brighter, lighter and lighter, because you're walking with God who is light. But on the flip side, though, The way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know over what they stumble. What a sad ending, not just for a section, but for this discussion of the dark path, right? The end of the spiral into the bottom of the barrel. From getting more and more light to going deeper and deeper into the dark pit, right? Deep darkness. To the point where they don't even realize they put up the trap and they fall into it, which kind of brings us back to chapter 1, where again we saw the destructiveness of people who do evil. They set up traps and then they fall in their own traps. Why? Because they're doing it in the darkness. Because wisdom is leaving them more and more. They become stupider and stupider, if I could put it like that. That's their reality. And please, brothers and sisters, let's not be too quick to say, yes, that's the Old Testament. No, that's the truth of sin. The more we feed it, the more it's going to destroy us like a cancer. The more we follow that path, and deeper it's going to bring us into that hole. To think that we're exempt because we're Christian is so wrong, because we are warned again and again about the importance to kill it. That's why John Owen said, kill sin or it will kill you. And don't just think of those really disgusting sins. I don't drink, I've never done drugs, and I stay away from fornication. Sin is more than that. Think of the simple example of gossip. People who gossip will want more and more of these tiny little pieces about people's lives and want to share it to more and more people so they can also enjoy hating that person. It becomes worse and worse and worse. It is destructive. Here's a basic Old Testament proverbial warning to think right about that. And also a call to walk more and more into that path of light to get more and more light itself. Simple commands, simple truth. Will we take these warnings seriously? I hope so, brothers and sisters. Be blessed.